Paris is unusually quiet. The city, known for its vibrant energy and endless flow of people, now feels suspended in time. The familiar hum of morning traffic is gone, replaced by an eerie silence that settles over the boulevards and bridges. Even the air seems to hold its breath, as if waiting for something to change. In this stillness, the absence of life is palpable, and the city's heartbeat slows to a whisper. The Louvre, usually alive with visitors from every corner of the globe, stands closed, its iconic glass pyramid now a silent symbol of crisis. Where once there were lines of eager art lovers, there is only emptiness. The museum's gates are locked, its grand halls echoing with memories rather than footsteps. The world's most visited museum, a beacon of culture and history, has become a monument to uncertainty. The staff have walked out, not over a simple dispute, but as a desperate act to save the institution itself. Their protest is not just about wages or working conditions. It's about the survival of the Louvre and everything it represents. For many, this is a last resort, a plea for the world to notice what's at stake. Their absence is a powerful statement, echoing through the empty galleries and silent corridors. This isn't just a Parisian problem. The Louvre is a global icon, and its closure signals a deeper, worldwide struggle for cultural institutions. Museums everywhere are facing similar challenges: shrinking budgets, rising costs, and the pressures of a changing world. The sight of tourists turned away and news crews gathered outside is a stark reminder that the crisis extends far beyond these walls. The fate of the Louvre is intertwined with the fate of museums everywhere. Chronic underfunding, mass tourism, and eroding resources have pushed the museum to a breaking point. Years of deferred maintenance and relentless crowds have taken their toll on the building and its priceless collections. Behind the scenes, dedicated staff struggle to keep up with repairs and conservation, fighting a losing battle against time and neglect. The grandeur of the galleries hides a fragile reality, one that can no longer be ignored. The staff, guards, curators, conservators, are the backbone of the Louvre, and their strike is a plea for help. These are the people who protect, preserve, and interpret the treasures of humanity. Without them, the art is vulnerable, the stories untold. Their expertise and dedication are irreplaceable, and their absence leaves a void that no technology or automation can fill. The museum's future depends on their well-being and commitment. This moment forces us to see beyond the art to the fragile system that keeps it safe. The security cameras, the climate controls, the careful hands that dust and restore, these are the invisible guardians of culture. When the system falters, the masterpieces themselves are at risk. It's a reminder that the beauty we admire is only possible because of the unseen labor and vigilance behind the scenes. The fate of masterpieces like the Mona Lisa is tied to the well-being of those who protect them. Every brushstroke, every sculpture, every artifact depends on a network of skilled professionals. Their care ensures that these treasures endure for future generations. When their voices go unheard, the art itself is silenced. The world must recognize that the preservation of culture is a collective responsibility. December 15th, 2025 marks a reckoning. The Louvre's greatest threat isn't theft or disaster, but slow, systemic collapse. As the world watches, the museum stands as a warning. Without urgent action, the guardians of our shared heritage may be forced to abandon their posts. The silence that now fills these halls is a call to all of us to value, support, and protect the institutions that keep our history alive. The Louvre's story began as a 12th century fortress, later transformed into a royal palace, and finally, a museum for the people after the French Revolution. Its walls reflect centuries of power, ambition, and artistic legacy. Napoleon expanded its collections, making it a universal museum and a model for the world. But this legacy brings challenges. The commitment to accessibility now strains its resources. The Louvre has survived wars and protected treasures, forging a deep bond with French identity. Yet, its vast bureaucracy and ancient infrastructure make modernization difficult and expensive. The current strike exposes the tension between preserving history and simply keeping the doors open. The December strike was not just a sudden outburst, but the culmination of a disastrous year for the Louvre. Tensions had been simmering for months, as staff and management struggled to keep up with mounting crises that seemed to arrive one after another, each more severe than the last. In October, a brazen heist shocked the world. Thieves made off with 102 million in jewels, exposing not only broken security systems, but also chronic understaffing that left the museum vulnerable. The theft was a wake-up call, revealing just how fragile the institution had become. The French Senate launched an inquiry, and their findings were damning. They pointed to years of systemic neglect, underfunding, and a lack of investment in both people and infrastructure. The museum's director, visibly shaken at a press conference, called it a terrible failure, one that could no longer be ignored. As if the theft wasn't enough, engineers soon discovered a collapsing ceiling in the Greek ceramics gallery. Scaffolding went up overnight, and warning signs appeared in corridors. The news confirmed the staff's worst fears. The very building they worked in was decaying, and urgent repairs were needed to prevent disaster. Then, disaster struck again. A water leak in the Egyptian department damaged priceless artifacts, some of which had survived for thousands of years. The incident highlighted not only the fragility of the collection, but also the museum's poor emergency protocols and lack of preparedness for such crises. For the staff, these events were devastating. Many had dedicated their lives to preserving art and history, only to realize their work was now housed in a structure that seemed to be failing them at every turn. Morale plummeted, and anxiety grew with each new problem. The crises, brazen theft, structural threats, and water damage painted a stark picture of an institution pushed to its absolute limit. Each incident compounded the last, creating a sense of chaos and urgency that could not be ignored. Meanwhile, as the world emerged from the pandemic, tourism surged back to record levels. The museum's already stretched staff found themselves overwhelmed by crowds, long lines, and endless demands. With resources depleted and morale at an all-time low, confrontation between staff and management was inevitable. A breaking point had finally been reached. On December 15th, 400 workers gathered, united in weary resolve. Talks with the Culture Ministry had failed. The strike vote was unanimous. Workers formed a human chain at the pyramid, explaining their decision to stun tourists. The museum closed, with unions warning the strike could last indefinitely. Their demands: more staff, urgent repairs, and a stable budget, basic needs, not luxuries. The government's response: promises and a review, but no immediate relief. The union's resolve only hardened, fearing more delays and empty assurances. To grasp the crisis, listen to those who walk the Louvre's halls daily. Ivan Navarro of the CGT union summed it up. Visitor numbers and prices rise, but staff and salaries don't. Alexis Fricha described the museum as an obstacle course, overcrowded, tense, and exhausting for all. Staff act as crowd control, not cultural guides, while curators mourn damaged artifacts and closed galleries. The administration's late admissions, like calling the heist a terrible failure, do little to ease anger. Even the lead architect admitted the building is not in good shape. These are not just complaints, they're warnings from within a system on the brink. The Louvre's closure ripples through Paris and beyond. Economically, each closed day means lost revenue for the museum and the city's tourism industry. Politically, it's a headache for Macron's government, symbolizing wider public sector unrest. Tourists, many on once-in-a-lifetime trips, are left heartbroken and frustrated, damaging Paris's reputation. Security failures have raised international concerns, especially among institutions that loan artifacts to the Louvre. The strike is a public admission. Staff no longer believe the collection is safe. This could jeopardize future loans and collaborations, harming the Louvre's global standing. The world is watching, and the stakes are higher than ever. Experts see the Louvre's crisis as a warning for museums everywhere. The iconic museum, known for its vast collection and historical significance, is facing unprecedented challenges that could reshape the future of cultural preservation. Dr. Elena Vasquez calls it the canary in the coal mine, proof that relying on ever-growing crowds without investment is unsustainable. She emphasizes that the sheer volume of visitors is putting a strain on the museum's infrastructure, leading to wear and tear that is difficult to manage without significant funding. Security analyst Jonathan Price says technology is useless without enough trained staff, and the strike is a direct result of this neglect. He points out that while advanced security systems are in place, the lack of personnel to operate and respond to these systems effectively renders them almost pointless. Dr. David Chen notes that preservation is active and expensive. The water leak is a deeper failure than the heist. He argues that the incident highlights the ongoing neglect in maintaining the museum's physical structure, which is just as important as protecting its art from theft. The consensus: a real solution needs more than reports or quick fixes. Museum administrators are grappling with the reality that long-term strategies and substantial investments are necessary to address these deep-rooted issues. The Louvre must rethink its mission, possibly limiting visitors and raising prices to fund real change. This could mean a shift in how the museum operates, focusing more on quality of experience rather than quantity of visitors. The question: will France make the tough, long-term commitments needed to save its most famous museum? The government's role will be crucial in determining whether the Louvre can adapt and thrive in the future. The answer will set a precedent for cultural institutions worldwide. How the Louvre navigates this crisis could influence how museums globally approach their own challenges, making this a pivotal moment in the history of cultural preservation. The Louvre's future hangs in the balance as negotiations resume. Workers demand immediate action, not distant promises. Appointing Philippe Jost signals urgency, but his report is months away. A real solution starts with emergency funding for staff and repairs. Experts call for a deep overhaul, modernizing infrastructure, smarter crowd management, and a shift from quantity to quality in visitor experience. The Louvre must be seen as vital public infrastructure, not just a tourist attraction. Renewal will require political courage, public support, and a shared commitment to preserving a palace for the people. The Louvre's silence is a powerful reminder this is more than a labor dispute. The striking workers are defending an ideal, reminding us that a museum is a living testament to human creativity and resilience. The crisis reveals the unglamorous reality. Preservation needs working pipes, modern security, and supported staff. When these fail, the art itself is at risk. Protecting cultural landmarks is an active, ongoing struggle, a measure of our civilization. The fight to save the Louvre is a fight for our shared past and future. The world must decide: are these treasures worth preserving, or will we let them crumble? Paris waits, and so does history.